Do you struggle with what to do with leftover strips of batting? So you've made your quilt, you've basted it, you've gotten it back from the long armor or you quilted it yourself, and then you go to square it up and you get left with long strips of batting. And I'm not making Franken batting. I'm gonna show you something that I came up with to use these scraps so we don't throw them away. That is very useful. You might really enjoy this technique. I've done it a couple times since the first time. Let me reach down here and show you. Okay, this is a tote bag that I made for my daughter, Natalie. It's full of her coloring books and stuff because she loves it. But do you see how flimsy this little strap is? It's just fabric, right? It's just a very flimsy little strap. Okay, well, I decided to take these extra strips of batting. I'm gonna show you what I did on this other tote bag that I made. I added the batting in with the fabric. I'm gonna show you how I did it. But now, do you see the comparison in these two straps? This one is padded and it's really nice when you carry it. If your bag's really full, it feels sturdier and it just feels more secure versus this one's very flimsy, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to do this. Take one of your long leftover pieces of batting. This one's actually very long, it's folded in half right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this down to be 2.5 inches wide, okay? So this was trimmed off the edge of a quilt that I was making. So I am now just gonna try to get this. This is about this is about 5 inches. So I think I could even just cut this in half and I could make 2 straps. So you want to cut it about 2.5 inches wide. So I'm now making an even narrower strip of batting. Okay, so we're going to use this strip right here. Now I've already cut myself a piece of fabric. This is width of fabric and it is 4.5 inches wide. So this is 4.5 inches times width of fabric. So 4.5 times 42. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna need is my spray glue. And I'm also gonna need, where's my little clippies? My clippies. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually just gonna spray a little bit of this 505 temporary adhesive spray, not in my face, but I'm just gonna spray a little bit right down the center of my fabric strip. And then I'm gonna take my batting and I'm gonna lay it down right in the center of this strip, okay? So I'm gonna lay it down in the center as best I can, as best as I can in the center of this strip. I'm putting a little bit of spray glue on there. You can pick it up and move it if you need to, but it just kind of helps it hold in place. It's got a lot of fuzz on it. Okay. Smooth that out. Okay. Now I need to grab some scissors. Sure, I have scissors around here somewhere. Okay. All I'm gonna do is this ended up, the piece of batting was probably like a queen size batting or something. It's longer than my strip. Okay, once I have this done, so it should look like this. Your batting is kind of glued down in the center of your long fabric strip. I'm now gonna take my glue again, and I'm just gonna lightly spray to help hold this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the fabric down, okay? So what I'm doing is folding the fabric in. Like so, okay? So now it looks like this. All I've done is taken the sides and folded it towards the middle. And the little bit of spray glue that I put on there just helps this hold down. You could do this part just with pins, but the spray glue just makes it really quick and easy to kind of fold these towards the center and it will kind of hold down on itself. So I'm just folding this down. So now it looks like this. So one side is all fabric and the other side sort of has a little seam with the batting showing. Then what I did was I took these little clippies, I then folded it in half so that where the batting is showing is going down and the edges are coming up, and I'm folding that. I'm gonna bring you around so you can see from this side. Okay, I tried to zoom you in a little bit more so you can see better. I'm taking this and I'm folding it in on itself. The batting is gonna be all on the inside. So all the batting is completely covered by fabric. And then I'm just pinching it with my fingers to fold it, and then I'm securing that with clips. I'm not using any more glue at this point, and I'm just gonna do the same process all the way down to the end of my strip, just adding pins as I go. Okay, so here's even a different angle of the same process. I've used the spray glue to hold everything together, and then I'm folding it and clipping it. If any of your fabric or batting is shifting, that glue is not 100% secure. Just smooth it out with your fingers and line it back up. This is kind of your last step before you start sewing, so you have time here to kind of maneuver it to make it the best you can. Okay, once you've finished clipping all the way down to the end, you're gonna be ready to start sewing. Now, for sewing, you can use a presser foot, but I do feel like it is a little bit easier to run it through your machine if you go ahead and switch out to the walking foot. A walking foot is designed to handle multiple layers of fabric and feed it through evenly. And in this case, we've got 4 layers of fabric plus 2 layers of batting. It's making a really nice padded strap, but that is a lot of layers. So if you have a walking foot attachment on your sewing machine, now is the time to go ahead and put that on. Now I have some lime green thread. I increased my stitch length to 3. Normally when I'm piecing quilt blocks, I stitch it at 2.5, but for this, I went ahead and increased my stitch length to 3. And all I'm doing is running right now, right down the center of my strap, a seam, and I am removing clips as I go. Forgot to tell my sewing machine that I was switching to the walking foot, and on this particular model of the Bernina, you have to actually go into the touchscreen and announce to the machine that you have switched feet, so I went ahead and did that. But now I'm just continuing on straight down the center, removing clips as I go. This first seam takes the longest because it's securing all your layers together and you still have all your clips or pins in place. As you'll see in a minute, the next seams go super fast because you don't have to stop to remove any pins or clips. Okay, when you get down to the end, just cut your threads, pull your strap around. It's already starting to look pretty good, but right now it only has the one seam. So now pick one side and you're gonna go down about 1/4 inch away from your first seam line. See how fast this is going? Since I'm not having to stop to remove any clips and pins and that first seam secured the layers together, this second seam is just adding more structure. We're gonna do the same thing again on the other side. So whichever side you didn't stitch on yet, now you're gonna add a 1/4 inch seam, approximately 1/4 inch seam away from that center down the other side. Again, this is helping secure all your layers together and it's gonna keep everything nice and secure. Now, you could stop with 3 seams, but you could do more. You could do 5 or 6. There's really however many you feel like you want. And you could even play around with the dimensions on this. Like I said, I used a 4.5 inch strip of fabric and a 2.5 inch strip wide piece of batting. And I was really happy with how this strap came out. It's really nice and thick and padded. It feels very secure. I think it's really cute and it has some nice structure. So let me know, what do you think of this solution for using up leftover strips of batting? Would you try this for your next tote bag? If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I hope to see you around soon. Thank you. I also just love this fabric. I think it's so darling. It has flowers and mushrooms.